Hello everyone, welcome to another Forgotten Railway story. I am pleased to announce that I have collaborated with PensyFan19 for this video, so say hello, Pen.
Hello, West of Hudson Studios. I'm pleased to be featured here as I am rather fond of talking about forgotten stories of railroads that people never know about. So let's dive right in.
During the 1960s, New Jersey rail travel was at its lowest point. Thousands of departures from every single terminal changed to hundreds back when all five were still in use. This was especially the case in 1967 when the Central Railroad of New Jersey closed its namesake Jersey City terminal, rerouting all trains to terminate at Newark Penn Station. A little before that, in the late 50s and early 60s, three more terminals were closed and demolished: the Pavonia Terminal, served by Erie and Susquehanna Railroad trains, the Exchange Place Terminal, served by Pennsylvania Railroad trains, and the Weehawken Terminal, served by the New York Central. This led to only one major terminal still being active, the Hoboken Terminal, which is still used today.
When the Aldine Plan went into effect in May 1967, it changed commuter railroading in North Jersey forever. The people of Bayonne and Jersey City complained about being severed from the North commuter service to the mainland side of Newark Bay. In that same year, the CNJ decided to use the last bits of its remaining main line, which was already over a century old, to create a shuttle train. This shuttle would take commuters from Cranford Station on the Raritan Valley Line to Bayonne, New Jersey, just over Newark Bay. At Cranford, they could make connections to Penn Station in Newark for other connections to NYC, south or west via PATH, Penn Central, CNJ, or Amtrak. It would have only one connection with the Northeast Corridor at one of its two stations in Elizabeth, New Jersey, one serving the central part of town and one serving the neighborhood of Elizabethport. It then made another spot on the RVL at Roselle Park. It would then cross over the Newark Bay Bridge and enter Bayonne, stopping at three stations: West State Street, East 22nd Street, and East 33rd Street. They wanted to extend service into the Communipaw Terminal, but it was deemed closed just before the train even entered service.
As a concession to the few hundred factory workers that worked along the CNJ east of Aldine, Bud Rail diesel cars, or Bud RDCs, were operated as the Bayonne Scoot between Cranford and Bayonne over the CNJ Newark Bay Bridge. The Scoot operated typically with between 1 and 3 Bud RDCs. The shuttle's full route was about 15 miles between the two termini. The trip time is unknown, as I could not find it anywhere on the internet. Same goes for the frequencies, or trains per day. The NJ Department of Transportation deemed the train to be too costly to operate during its service, as it took out $1 million annually just for maintenance. An operator of the scoots once said that the RDCs were never washed, and at times the window was so dirty he could barely see from outside.
Over 1,000 people used the scoots daily during its first few years of service, but it quickly dropped to only 400 daily riders due to high fares. In 1974, it cost over $9 for a one-way trip, which today is about $56.
The scoots also received delays quite often on a daily basis, which discouraged riders and workers from taking the train and encouraged them to find alternate modes of transportation like buses. The trains were also very neglected, having never been washed, and operated on century-and-a-half-old tracks with no maintenance since the CNJ declared bankruptcy when the train first began service. In 1974, the NJ DOT said that if they kept running the scoots, it would cost them $1.5 million, nearly double of the supposed subsidy of $875,000. By substituting shuttle service with state-supported bus service, it would save them about $1 million. Estimated runtime of the buses would take 47 minutes between Bayonne and Elizabeth, and it wouldn't run on weekends. However, this would only happen if the bus route wasn't plagued with low ridership like the scoots were.
In 1976, the CNJ was absorbed into Conrail, and Conrail operated the scoots until August 6, 1978, when the service was discontinued entirely due to constant money losses and low ridership. The line between Aldine and Elizabethport continued to be used by New Jersey Transit to access the Elizabethport shops, when the shops closed in 1988, and the Meadowlands Maintenance Complex opened in 1992. The former shops were demolished between 1989 and 96 as part of the urban renewal of Jersey City.
Today, the section of track between 8th and 33rd Streets in Bayonne is used by the current Hudson-Bergen Light Rail, with the 8th Street station being elevated. The 8th Street station's original depot was demolished, but soon after, a more modern version of it was built to serve the HBLR, borrowing the same shape and design. The Newark Bay Bridge that led the scoots into Bayonne was demolished sometime during the 1980s.
The scoots were kind of a last touch of CNJ's railroading reign in northern New Jersey, and they were technically the last trains that CNJ operated. They were short-lived, with service only lasting 11 years. The service was forcibly discontinued due to low ridership and being too costly to operate, and with the scoots gone, the CNJ was no more, gone into the forgotten pages of New Jersey's railroading history.
Thank you all for watching this Forgotten Railway Stories video. Special thanks to PensyFan19 for taking part in this video's production. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos coming your way.
That's all we gotta say for now. Thanks again for watching and have a great day.